What we have here is kumquat and butternut squash. What do you think they have in common? Come watch and I'll show you. Welcome to Vegan Kiwis to Pistachio. You have a butternut squash, you have kumquats, you have a cup and a half of water, 2 apples, organic agave nectar, ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon. The first thing we do is we take off this sticker. Next, wash the butternut squash in the sink. What we're going to do is we're going to take care of cutting this. Found the best thing to cut this is a mallet like this. Don't have that, you could probably use. So get yourself a good sharp knife. It would even be better if it was longer than this one here, because you're going to be needing it to cut it. Pass the butternut squash over here so that you can cut it. Next, we're going to remove these seeds. Use a spoon to take them out. We're just going to scrape this off. Same thing on this side. The next step after that, take your knife and cut it in pieces. Cut the bent part of the squash. That's what we're going to be putting the kumquat chutney on top. The other pieces of squash that are flat will be on the very top of everything else and used for a later meal. Now take all your bent pieces of your butternut squash and put them inside the vegetable strainer, inside the pressure cooker liner. This will keep them from getting burnt. Next, take these stickers off these apples. Now put the apple core on top of the apple and press down. It's that easy. Then flip it around and push the apple through the apple core to release it. Now do it to the other apple too. Put the apples on an empty area of the vegetable strainer that doesn't have the butternut squash. These are flash frozen broccoli. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them. Place the broccoli inside the Instant Pot metal liner. So what we have is almost a combined meal. So we're going to have our squash, our starch, our apple for dessert, and our broccoli for a vegetable. The next thing we're going to do is cut the kumquats. Cut the kumquats lengthwise and make sure you get all the seeds out. This is going to be the sauce that's going to go on top of the butternut squash, and that's why we're calling it the Instant Pot pressurized cooker kumquat butternut squash. Now let's pretend for some reason you go to the store, you're thinking about using my recipe, can't find any kumquat. Use an orange. Can't find that? If you are a marmalade eater, like I am, you could use marmalade, or pre-made marmalade. Not very vegan, but you want something different for your family, this is one thing you can do. Sugar, I'm using Agave Nectar. I don't use honey because vegans don't eat any bugs. So mix on top, mix them together. Nutmeg, you need very little of this. And mix it up again. Okay, so I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it on top inside of all those side of each of the squashes. In this case, the butternut squash. Need a cup and a half of water. Just to close it up, turn it on. This has to be the sealer. Manual. And we need 3 minutes. I was turned on and now it's starting its process. See you in a little bit. Okay, so the iPod just ended, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it off. Here, this button right here. Now watch. So we're just going to let it vent for like 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, so what we're doing next is we're going to check the pot. So there's no, you press this, there's no steam coming out. The lock just dropped, so you can open the top. The juices fall inside, that way nobody gets burned. Put this in a safe place. What I did different is not only do I have the kumquat squash in here, but I also put it on top. See, it's perfect, goes right through, even the thickest piece. So these can be used for a different meal. Plate, something to pull it out safely so you don't burn yourself. And you could serve this on a different meal. It won't have the kumquat on this one. And that way you're able to cook more than one meal in the same pot. For your dinner, then you can take your dessert, apples, and the broccoli that you cooked, the flash frozen broccoli. And here's the squash with the kumquat already on top. Now I'm not going to be able to eat all of this, but it shows you that you can put out a plate, basically have dinner in less than half an hour if you have a pressure cooker. Then one more ingredient, full protein. What I did is I warmed up a little bit of tofu, which I'm going to put it over the top of the squash so that we have protein. You have your butternut squash with kumquat dressing on top of it. You have your tofu that's been warmed up on the stove top. You have broccoli that's been cooked in the Instapot pressure cooker, including you have the dessert. To finish your dessert, get a little bit of nutmeg, and I mean very little, and just pour a little bit on the apples. And that's it. Let's see what it tastes like. I'll take some protein, I'll take a little bit of broccoli, and then, so if this is very bland, you'd have to have maybe a sauce that you could put over this when you get on the fork. Now notice I ate it skin and all. The skin could have been peeled off, it could have been removed. I happen to like the skins, and that's why I use them. That's why I'm so careful with my vegetables. But this is a good, satisfying meal, and it's a lot more balanced than some of my other meals where I only had one product at a time. So I'm going to let the steam come out. I want to thank you very much for watching it, and I hope to show you another vegan meal soon.
Hi, this is Gary. Click the circle on my face to subscribe, or click the upper box on your right side of your screen to check my expanded playlist. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video.